Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and riveting, amazing Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda, Hero of Psych, Defender of the Fatherland, your own personal Jesus, off here to a 1 versus 1 on Arnhem checkpoint. Between the north, we got Xiaya, fighting for the Oberkommando Germany, Deutschland, taking on the role here of the Panzerlehr Panzerdivision West and south. We got Noname, the man without a name, we'll just call him though Clint. Fighting here for America, freedom, democracy with airborne, armor and infantry company here forming up the 1st Armored Division, double infantry and grenade bulletins versus double infantry Jaeger with Overwatch, fortifications and elite armor here for Xiaya, a rank 80 Oberkommando West player, I believe from China by the looks of things. No name, bit harder to determine though so far. Initial investigations reveal he might be a top 200-ish player, at least close to top 100. From Korea, South Korea, obviously. Wilsons versus Sturmpani's out in the rifle backing up here. Shifting about here, Kublai moving about here for Xiaya in the far west. Obviously knowing his opponent can't hit with a light vehicle, that gives Xiaya a lot more freedom to use a Kugelwagen. So, bit of rare sight here, but nice to see that some Oberkommandos players still make use of the mighty Kugelwagen. Sturmpani is his rifleman here. Overall situation should be in favour of the rifle since at this range it's really reasonably safe, plus in heavy cover, whereas the Sturmpani just can't do a lot of damage, the rifle still can. So at some point he's going to have to break off, otherwise he's just feeding the rifle the experience while bleeding himself dry. Not frightfully efficient, of course. We can flank them with some full screen to give him a better chance of, doing some good work. In this case, the rifle also slightly popped the heads up, possibly expecting push from the north. It does slightly expose some of them to assault rifle fire from the hurls, but Boyd lost 2 members, that's half the unit gone, without inflicting a single kill. So far, pretty good here for Clint. 3rd rifle score on the way there for Clint, who's by gone straight for infantry, opening up for Browning light machine guns, more Taftechs, sandbags, mines, artillery, more artillery. Sturm Pioneers moving about here. Rifle finally beginning to bleed out, though, mostly because the Volkskanone has arrived. 3rd squad on the way there for Mr. Xiaya. Sturmpan's been flanking with the resistance to charge in with the M1 carbine. Sturmpan's quickly making a move there, trying to get behind here. Gonna pop into the house. Yeah, it has been wired off actually. Clear move there by Noname, aka Clint here in first hand. A rifleman repulsed. Sturmpan is not in a really bad spot because they're just going to have to try and get up, but they're getting very low on health and they're going to have to pop up right in front of the rifleman. So this could be a very early wipe here against the eye. That would be definitely a tactical win there for Clint of the bigger here. He's trying to get the wipe in the Sturmpan. There we go. Down there goes the eye. They think was paying attention here and so they hadn't considered this option overall. So definite tactical win there. Just 300 manpower, close quarters unit gone. And comparatively, the eye has yet to land any wipes here on Clint. In these, we got rifle moving up here, seizing territory there. Cool line hanging back there. 1 kill so far. Ambulance on the way there for Clint. Love to see what else he aims for. Likely, either the battalion command post or the platoon command post. I'm going to keep calling it now until the relic fixes it. Sturmpaniers on the way there for Xiaya. Moving up here to secure the point. Rifle here, catching the forces, laying down sandbags in the cold point, negative cover. This is a really bad spot here for Xiaya. He's forced to reposition rapidly in the face of the rifleman. Forces standing about here, shooting away at the advancing rifleman. Got the Kuban backing up Sturmpanier squad. Number 2 there, done for Xiaya to quickly replace the losses he suffered against the evil Americans. Popping up here, getting flanked with the rear, quickly moving up with M1 carbines. Trot on the way there for Xiaya. As for Mr. Clint, still no sign of any upgrades there to either command post. And there we go. It looks like it is the platoon command post that's getting upgraded here. Folks are taking minor casualties. Right near with more support moving up against the Folks. Kuban not backing out, trying his best to sort of sprinkle down the Americans. And there goes the eye up, pops. Overwatch, Jaeger infiltrating here behind the rifle, forcing retreat here, collapsing Clint's positions around the center. But the upgrade of the platoon command post and the platoon commander, aka the lieutenant, will likely turn the tide for freedom. Rifleman seizing the point here, pushing up hard, full to the reinforcing. Probably should be soon enough. Truck is apparently been delayed there, going out again. Sturmpaniers wiring off here to deny cover to Mr. Clint in case of future engagement. Very good. He's also going for the weapon racks, which is interesting considering he went for infantry. Most players on this state would usually just stick to the Browning light machine guns, but obviously this does also give him access to the bazookas, which if he's gone for the platoon command post, I mean, is a bit necessary since you don't really have a lot of other anti-tank weapons. We'll have to see if he leaves himself any opening to equip the rifle, not just with the bar, but the Browning light machine gun, or both of them, since that can give him a nice amount of firepower there. It's also a combination that's not necessarily considered because while you can only upgrade one light machine gun, you can still upgrade a light machine gun and a bar, giving them some heavy firepower available to them. Mortar after course is also a possibility here for Clint versus Xiaya, but we'll have to see if he actually goes for that. I mean, so far, Xiaya's not exactly the chap to dig in heavily with support weapons, so the mortar after will be useful, wouldn't be necessarily that useful. Anyways, here fighting around here, the Eastern Carpon there, troops converging here to try and deal Xiaya a stinging blow here, along with the Panzer Division. Lieutenant there, of course, and also ramming from the platoon command post. Moving up to swiftly engage troops. Cutting down the forces out in the open. Jaeger there being pushed back. Lieutenant pushing up close to the Kubelwagen. Sturmpani is taking minor losses. Riflemen are routed. And we got a 50 cal on the way there for Clint from the platoon command post. Lieutenant sending out, that's only going to help here versus all of Xiaya's infantry, help keep some of its heads down. Battle group headquarters up for Xiaya. Nothing out of it yet, could go for the flat calf tech, might also just go for machine guns, certainly very possible. Points him in here to here. Clint moving out swiftly for America, freedom, democracy. Troops are reinforcing, a bit short munitions there for the next weapon, certainly due to not having this point here comparatively. Xiaya has been getting a ton of munitions, so your son's going to have a bit more of an H there. But that's probably not the H he truly wants. That would be more in the department of, fuel. But in the case of Clint, he can sort of more easily, turn the munitions advantage into something bigger due to having better upgrade options for his riflemen. And any other infantry, really. There's some see it out in the open. Basil the cat coming in for a bit of attention. The fluffy little bastard. Polska Sturmpani's eggs moving up. We've got a big push here from Xiaya and the Panzer Division going for the calf point there to reclaim it from America. In the east moving about here as well with the riflemen. We've got lots of them about here, and Fipka there's going to try and slow up some of Xiaya's attacks into the centre. Jaeger's already engaging, Fulton up close as well here. Could risk clearing out the 50 caliber if Clint is not careful in the face of his Nazi opponent. Rifle moving in here, flanking the Fulton side by the fountain. 50 caliber quick to suppress them. Nice work there, but it's already suffered one loss here from the Jaeger squad, which already got 5 kills by the way. There you go, another kill here. Jaeger's quickly piling up those casualties. Rifle going to push here for the house. Unit wiped out. That's in fact a rifle squad. Bit of a loss there for Clint in particular, since that was an upgraded rifle squad with a BAR. Quite costly. Went down to the forces with the short rifles. Clearly not a good engagement. 50 cal they're still hanging about here, but probably can't last for much longer here for Clint. Jaeger's pushed out now. We've got the Sturmpaniers back in the west. We've got Rifleman and the Lieutenant and the rest going for the Fulton squad here. Back at base, nothing further going on there for Clint. Fulton's routed here. Jaeger's back inside the house, but they are taking heavy damage. In fact, they are very low in health. Small chance here that Clint can land a wipe and take them out. Sturmpaniers routed as well here. For the most part, sent to worst the engagement in the favour of Clint, but the one engagement in the east rather went catastrophic and cost him an entire infantry squad. So even if Xiaya's losing ground, he will be able to launch a stronger counterattack with full infantry complement, whereas Clint is going to have to replace losses. But he's actually going here from the steward, upgrading his platoon command post to not just have platoon commanders and 50 calibers, but steward light tanks. Got the Kuban moving in here trying to contest the Lieutenant's harassment with fuel point. Stewart slowly done here. That's only going to put some pressure down Xiaya, who does not have any anti-tank weapons. But we do note he's gone for the MG54 to help contain Clint's explosive infantry growth, which is definitely not a bad idea, by the way. Close chance to lose the Kuban, which definitely hurts Xiaya a bit. Admittedly, it's just the Kubelwagen, so it's likely not something that can keep him up at night if he does lose it. Trot on the way there for Xiaya. That's going to be the Shroud Punted quarters. He will likely set up around the calf point and the fuel point here to guard it against further harassment there from Clint. His platoon commander there is being routed. The lieutenant is forced away. From an awful lot of angry Germans that Xiaya's managed to muster, and there you go, wipe on the lieutenant. Clint stuck a bit around for too long and got punched, but there you go, Stuart light tank on the way. Engaging here the Krauts with his Krauts machine gun first from the main gun. Turning into them with a violent glee in the centre. We got the MG34 versus the 50 caliber. That's going to be, I think, easy win here for Clint and his 50 caliber machine gun, since that MG34 is not made for, surviving out middle versus that. And there you go, almost taken out here. In fact, half health left. Veterans 1 gain on the 50 caliber. Another lieutenant on the way here for Clint. Certainly a good upgrade. Even when he was nerfed, he's still a rifle squad with a added Thompson submachine gun, which still makes him really strong. So we'll have to see what ends up with that. He could try and nab the brown light machine gun. Interesting enough, despite him going for infantry, he's not popped that one as soon as possible. Instead goes to the BAR. Worth noting, he has upgraded grenades. That's also a pretty good choice, and also another reason to go for lieutenant, because the lieutenant, on top of having access to grenades, also has access to smoke grenades. So he's a bit more flexible in that sense compared to the average rifleman, though of course he does not have anti-tank rifle grenades. That would, push him a bit too far. Stuart then going after Sturmpanies with the Panzer up. Aggressive flank here by Clint, trying to sneak about, hook around in fact his opponent's front line, hit the other points, a very good play, and there you go, Shroud Punted quarters covering the calf point and the fuel point at the same time. Nice setup there by Xiaya. Also going to be a trigger there for Clint to just move up and just begin hammering away at with anti-tank guns. Still good map control here by Clint, despite that one unfortunate infantry loss, well, those unfortunate infantry losses. Still at work, they're following up here for Xiaya and the Panzer Division. Stuart need to be careful. Flares popping off as he hits more points. And there he goes, Shroud Punted quarters positioning revealed to Clint. Of course, he can still basically harass it through here, but that's where there's an awful lot of Germans about. Still, good work there. Clint could consider laying down some mines here and there once he's upgraded his troops further with light machine guns and such. Okay, enough out for Xiaya and the Panzer Division. Got the M51 Stuart there rolling about, looking for Nazis to exsanguinate. Okay, troops reinforcing. Needs to pick out the rifle versus the full grenadiers. Assault rifles on the way there for them as well. Two victory points well in the control of Clint here versus Xiaya. Also victory point lead. Got the MG34 being held forwards here by Clint. Xiaya. Now, of course, the Panzer Division would have access to MG42s. MG34s would generally have been, part of the lower rate infantry units most of the time. They've been given the MG34s. The MG42, of course, was seen as the overall more efficient weapon, and would, of course, been reserved for stuff like the elite Panzer Division. But, that's how those things go. Got the Kuban rushing forwards here. And of course, sort of just highlights how the Noble Command West design is a bit weird. It's supposed to be this elite faction, but it's stuck with MG34s and not MG42s. Anyways, we've got grenade off here, trying to get the Sturmpanies. Did get off an excellent hit like Kevin. They've quite a blow there to Xiaya. And there you go. The Kevin for Riders. Stuart, those should get out of there. Would be a shame here for Clint. And the 1st Armored Division to lose a light tank to the Krauts like that. Down south, the 5th Cavalry being routed. Need to be careful with the Stuart light tank. Avoid any possible Panzer fire surprises. Lieutenant routed once more. Noted there, of course, with a BAR. Back here, troops sitting enforcing. Note, no brown light machine guns being added. No sign of take up yet here for Clint either. 2nd, 5th Cavalry out here. Interesting choice for Clint. And we got more Jaegers out here for Xiaya and the Panzer Division. Sneaking about here and being an overall nuisance to the Americans. Still, double 5th Cavalry will put more pressure there on Xiaya's infantry. But of course, Xiaya does have the advantage. He's going to be going fast for the fuel because he's been much more able to consistently harass Clint's fuel compared to Clint has not. In addition, the fuel, of course, while getting more pressure now, does also further delay tanks. So Xiaya is going to be able to push ahead with the tank, and right now, There's a particular gap in Clint's forces, in that he's got absolutely no anti-tank weapons. No bazookas, no anti-tank guns. Not even a picture of Patton scowling at the enemy. We do have the tank about, but he's going to definitely have to upgrade his re-echelons with bazookas. He will, without a doubt, need at least one improvised anti-tank team, and likely he will end up upgrading the major as well once he arrives with a pair of bazookas as well, giving him access to 2 full-on bazooka teams, so that way at least somewhat contain the German armoured threat. If I hear that he's not cut the wire, he can just try to run over it. Admittedly, doesn't have any units that can actually do that, though he could use the Sturmpani as a Panzer trick to try and destroy the barbed wire. Bit of skirmishing up north here. We got the Jaegers versus the Riflemen. That's going to come down to the grenade here, I think. And there you go, Jaegers pushed a bit away. Didn't take any damage from the grenade, but allowed the Riflemen to get close up with a bar and win. Panzer on the way to the Xiaya and the Panzer there, Panzer Division. And there you go, Major out. No sign of bazookas being grabbed here by Clint and the 1st Armored Division. Bit of shooting there. Up north, we got Rifleman pushing it further, catching up another Jaeger unit, but this time they're taking heavy damage. Need to retreat before he loses them. Will be quite costly here for Clint. And no sign of bazookas. He's going to be really surprised then when the tank hits, because he's clearly not anticipating it. Good God. He just got sent flying. Also smokes from north here. Allows troops to push ahead then. Not a bad idea. Getting closer to the house here, was expecting machine gun or anything else. Causing a full rout here. Nice smoke in there by Clint. Very nice. Further causing a collapse in the centre. He's going up here. He knows roughly where the Xiaya Panzer Corps is covering. He can sort of harass, or if all fails, he can just throw it on the smoke screen. So nice work there by Clint, harassing off his opponent's resources. But there is that one particular flaw in his plan, and that is coincidentally shaped like a Panzer IV Model J. By coincidence, that's a Panzer IV Model J that's come to ruin his day. And that rhymes. That's even worse. They're being routed, and here we go. Stuart quickly falling back in the face of the Panzer IV, definitely outgunned by this armoured menace. Direct hit on the Stuart's armour there from the Panzer IV. Rifle charging, Panzer IV charging straight at the Rifle in the centre. There you go. Tears out a huge chunk of them. Gets off an anti-tank rifle grenade, but overall, he needs bazookas, and he's going to need a lot of them. Should definitely get the Major and Rearson to equip with bazookas and just begin hammering away at it. And there you go. Got the Rearsons at least formed up to the bazooka team. They does seem less keen on doing the same thing with a Major. Perhaps a major inhibition on his behavioural patterns. 50 couple need to get away before the Panzer IV knocks them out of the church tower. Stood good to go and help deal with the sort of harassers on the sides. Can't deal with the Panzer IV anyways. Clint is not far off from a Panzer IV or a Jackson, but it's going to take a bit longer. There we go. Wipe the Foxes on the retreat there. Nice work here by Clint. Bit of a blow there to Xiaya. And we got the bazooka team, but there's a particular threat in the way. In this case, that's the MG-34 inside the house. The reagents can't just, walk past it. Major could try and call an artillery that way, force the machine gun away, although in this case, we've got the Lieutenant throwing down the smoke screen, allowing him to get close enough to pop a grenade. Excellent work there. Half the machine gun crew down, could allow the reagents then to push up through the smoke, occupy the house once the machine gun has been evacuated, and then go ahead for the Panzer IV. But he needs to get rid of that machine gun. He needs to clear it out of the building. Okay, we're on the side, running up for the centre here. Machine gun there, ready to get the reagents ahead. Wire, has been moved from the front of the church, and I can feel just move straight up for the front and go for the house here. Sturmpani is taking heavy damage, Rifleman going in there. Lieutenant carrying up the flank. Can he get close enough here to the Panzer IV to actually deal with it? There we go. Rockets flying there, one bounces. They kept from the flank, being cleared up. Stuart now taking advantage of this to sort of push through the centre, east side there. We got harassment by Xiaya. Clint flooding a lot of manpower. You might actually want to consider some fuel caches. So that will help him, get more fuel, catch a bit up with his opponent, long term gain a bigger advantage. I mean, there's no real reason to be flooding that much manpower, to be honest. Particularly not when you could build fuel caches, get more tanks faster. Italian command post there, standing still. Oh, sorry, command post. Down the western point, he's got artillery called in the Jaegers. Will Xiaya realise what's going on? Yes, he does. Britons need to get out there close to death. Would be ashamed to throw away the bazookas now. House about to collapse, and there we go. The Americans were quite keen on using artillery throughout the Second World War, and the Germans were quick to hook onto that and to set up counter tactics. Usually they'd sort of create these small, very small outposts that just meant to draw away artillery from the Americans, just, you know, caught them the far away needless, and then just, you know, move into occupy the positions afterwards. So they sort of, to an extent, caught on to the American propensity of just lobbing artillery at anything that looked remotely German. No sign of a Sherman or Jackson here, though, for Clint. He should definitely consider something soon. A light infantry gun's being brought here, as he has realised his opponent is rather heavily dug in with machine guns. In that regard, artillery is good. Another smoke screen. I really like here how Clint is making good use of smoke to quickly push out advances against the German players. Pop grenades there as well through them. Very nice work there. Nice tactical approach. But yeah, needs to be careful a bit with some other things. We got the Panther was still a problem. Still no sign of tanks. I'm wondering what Clint and the 1st Armored Division is planning against the Krauts, the Nazis. Also, no sign of Browning light machine guns. In fact, no real sign of anything from the docks. And we've seen no sandbags, no mines. We have seen no Browning light machine guns. We've seen no mortar half tracks. It does beg the question, why did he go for these docks in the first place there? But there you go. We got the Jackson tank destroyer on the way here for Clint and the 1st Armored Division. Machine gun there back inside the restaurant, well, impeding any movement here. In the west, major push back, but the Jaegers trot on the way there for Xiaya. Let's go with the Mechanized Regiment. Could be he is actually planning for a King Tiger now. A bold move, but could work out. Clint, though, really should be getting fuel caches. In these, we got the rifleman about here. Could try and hook up out here and sort of hit the forces from the rear. In fact, that's what we're going to be doing. A bit more support will not be a bad idea. Jaegers in centre hold here by the 5th caliber. Nicely occupying the cafe. Troops are hitting reinforcing. The riflemen being about to get wiped out and annihilated. Bit of a blow here to Clint. But there we go. We got the M36 Jackson tank destroyer in there. 5th caliber there under heavy fires. The cafe is slowly collapsing under withering and remorseless fire here for the Germans. Primarily the tank and the artillery, though. Need to get the 5th caliber out. Jackson arriving, hits a French passenger car. There we go, starting it up to allow the Jackson to move up aggressively. It's a very aggressive push here by Clint, to be honest. Jackson sadly doesn't hit a lot there. But the Kevin immediately turns to shoot at the Jackson, allowing the Stuart light tank to possibly get away there unless he gets Pantherfausted, which he doesn't. So really lucky there for Clint. That could actually have gotten a lot worse for him. Bazooka team moving up. They're getting up at point blank range to fire at the Panther 4 at the rear. Artillery called in here. He is absolutely bonkers. Need to call in the, well, get away the armor there. Artillery called in here, of course, raining down on the house, the restaurant. Machine gun though gets away since most of the artillery apparently misses the mark spectacularly. 50 caliber there at the ace level. Xiaya is not yet to set up the truck. They should probably do that soon. He's planning the King Tiger. The faster the better. Plus, of course, the repair pioneers could also prove to be helpful here for Xiaya and the Panzerlehr. Grenades almost take out the MD-34, but I can't finish the job. $15 kills there on the 50 caliber. Church is looking like quite the mess. North Guard Lieutenant versus advancing Folks Gunnery is trying to sort of threaten Clint's right flank and, more important, his resources. We'll have to see if he actually reacts to this sufficiently fast enough. Stuart Crew's going to be up to deal with that, but it's dealing with the Jaegers on the west flank, which could open up the victory point there, which would not be bad either. Jaegers versus 50 caliber, both ace, but the 50 caliber there is rather low in health, and the church is getting absolutely bombarded. Still, we see here that Clint remains controlling most of the map. He's got the victory point lead over Xiaya. Very nice work. And Eastern Victory Point there being harassed. Stuart being rushed in. Clint still would benefit a lot from a fuel cache, but still remains rather unconcerned with that. Got the Stuart moving up, taking the focus guns in the east. Great hit here on the Panther 4 from the Jackson. 90mm armor pierces the front. Major moving up, P quickly suppressed. Rifle following up, but he needs to clear out that restaurant here. This is where, you know, having a mortar would be good. Even a mortar half take, to be honest, for Clint. So they got a head-on assault with a grenade. Rifle there being absolutely dismembered by the German defenders. Jackson has got hit in the Panther 4, take down to half health. 50 couple doing what they can here from the cafe. As the Ace one's moving up the eastern side to occupy that area and close up from any German harassment. Back here, troops are reinforcing. Nothing further going on there in Clint's base as of yet. Now the smoke to advance here through the centre. Lieutenant rushing forwards, Ace level, Panther opening up, could get the Jackson up there to support maybe, and briefly sounded like some aircraft, it wasn't. There we go though, Bazooka 2 moves up. There we go, grenade here through the smoke at the restaurant with a machine gun occupying it. Stuart moving in as well, here we could see the machine gun being taken out with a bit of bad luck, but there you go. Does manage to get out, Lieutenant meanwhile is pushed off the centre victory point. 307 to 346, Clint remains in the lead here versus Xiaya. Versus the Panzerlehr. He can go for the Sherman now, and this tank will certainly help out. He could also go for double Jacksons. He might be sent against Bones going for a King Tiger, in which case double Jackson would be the best choice. Ace do it there. Pushed back here by Raketenwerfer, heavy fire. This time it's Xiaya's time to use smoke. Hanging apparently sort of caught on from his opponent's tactics and realised, you know what, smoke is great, and he smokes his opponent. Very good. Artillery called in here. Looks like the Major called that one in here. Much more bombarding the restaurant, which has certainly seen quite a bit of abuse hurled at it, but so far remains mostly intact. And the West Victory Point there being sieged, which would definitely give Clint here a back victory point lead further over Xiaya, depending on how long can actually maintain control of the 3 victory points. Western one security, we've got the Fulton moving up. He's going to need a grenade, I think, to have a chance versus the Fulton gun it is. Get that frag grenade off, the pineapple grenade. Oh, they're bunched up! And a full wipe, that's huge there for Xiaya, that is massive. Bit of a blow there, well, not Xiaya, Clint. For Xiaya, it's terrible. That, you know, an entire infantry unit just gone in the blink of an eye. 290 point left here for Xiaya. Jackson moving westwards there. Veterans who won. Finally coming to some artillery. Got the pack cards on the way there for Clint, as he has also gone for the Cat Might planning out a tank, and still no sign of additional tank destroyers tanks at all. So definitely want to consider some of those as well. Movement here, we got the Lieutenant going to try and flank about. We got a veteran 4 machine guns slowly approaching the ace level. Lieutenant's likely going to try and pop a grenade on that one and clear it out. There we go. Almost got the ND-34 Lord's veteran. There we go. Veterans he gone. He's going to try and steal the machine gun right under Xiaya's nose. Clint's boldness knows bounds. And we got the Jackson underneath the cap. We got the King Tiger out here for Xiaya. And Clint is still shotting into tank weapons. He's completely overlooked. Yes. He's definitely been overlooking something, but I don't know what. Either way, though, King Tiger's out. Königstiger shatters the church. And we got even sector assault here. Xiaya strikes with a full fury over the fatherland. That's the Panzerlehr gears up for total war. So, right now, Clint, otherwise looking strong. This is a bit of an awkward spot thanks to that King Tiger. He's going to need as many anti-tank rounds as he can muster, and he needs to remember to use those edge rounds as consistent as well here. Another penetrating hit on the King Tiger. Big 2 points wise, it's 265 versus 342. Shield moving up here. Still need to be careful around that King Tiger. Moving for the western victory point, which Xiaya continues not to defend very well, if at all. The Kenworth coming in the centre here, moving up to contest direct hit from the King Tiger. Lieutenant moving up as well here. Jackson firing back, noting Vent 22, very good. The Essence almost annihilated. Bazooka drop, Cap moving in. We got 3 machine guns calls now here for Clint. Should probably get the MD-35 to cover the western victory point. He needs to fight with heavy casualties over the centre one. And right now, what Clint needs to do is actually begin looking for other avenues to attack Xiaya. If he just keeps fighting here, it's going to be right in front of all the Kednavs and the King Tiger, meaning Xiaya's going to be able to just leverage all his firepower in one narrow spot, and that should not be what Clinton wants to do. Clint should want to play around this. But right now, he's very much playing to favour of Xiaya, if he's not careful. Rather, you should try to look to outmaneuver his opponent compared to... I mean, at the same time, Xiaya might also want to continue, of course, outmaneuver his opponent rather than just attacking head-on. And to an extent, this fight can end up being determined by who just begins outflanking the other bastard. Nations catch up here for Clint. Stewart, they're almost being fixed up. Directly in the King Tiger, down to half health after moving up. Stuart Parney taking heavy damage, 50 other preventing from just rushing ahead. King Tiger, damaged engine, less than half health. Less than a quarter. Moving up here with the Jackson. We got the Panther 4 moving in. King Tiger almost down. Panther 4 down to half health. Bazooka fire area. Others sort of fire. They're causing a problem. Smoke screen down to prevent here. Clint from supporting the center too easily. Very good. Grenade off. The Kednap was taken out. Rifleman White needs to retreat the lieutenant before he gets annihilated as well. The Panther 4 is close to eventually free. Brutal fighting around here. That's actually the rear sons that went down. His Bazooka team in the west. We got the Rifleman. There's the full screens there. We got 212 versus 342. Pack cars are trying to silence the Kednavs there by the looks of it. Jackson closing on the ace level. Back here, troops in enforcing. And these we got the 50 cover. They're coming at the victory point here. And interesting enough, he's got 2 machine guns covering the center rather than keeping 1 machine gun to cover the western victory point instead. I do feel like that's a tactical error there as well by Clint. Sure, that means more suppressive fire here, but you should rather not be looking into concentrate everything in one spot. Storm Pioneers on the way there. For Xiaya, probably help repairs with the King Tiger. He's got repaired Pioneers. He wants more Pioneers. King Tiger, by the way, very close to Veterans 1, very good. Jackson moving out. Destroying like Kedden there for that. Clint Brady should be going for another Jackson. I mean, double Jacksons would be a very big problem here for Xiaya with his King Tiger and increasingly smaller amounts of other anti-tank weapons to back it up. Well, at the very least, consider some anti-tank guns. Storming westwards here. Jackson charging forwards pretty recklessly. Almost got the Panther 4 there, though. But he does successfully get away. Center victory point secured. I've got a lot of action on the sides here. 206 versus 342. Got that 50 cover there at work. Captain should probably just smoke the King Tiger to prevent it from firing, or at least decrease its incoming fire. Does not look like he's doing that though. Still sneaking out a few hits. No attempt to ground the western victory point. 200 points versus 342. MD-34 on the way there for Xiaya to replace the one he lost to the armies, to the Americans. King Tiger's hitting out once more, 17 kills. King Jackson shoots, bounces off the King Tiger's armor. Got the Aegis there with the bazooka, rifling up. He's going to push them back with a grenade, most likely, but the rifle going to suffer heavy forward. We got the shooting up. They could try and stun it, I guess. It seems like there's no sign of that. Jackson's still not finding the HVAP rounds. Should consider that. Grenade on like Kedden for Panther 4 setting in here. And down goes like Kedden Alpha. Panther 4, they're going for the flank by the looks of it. Very good, very good. Close to the veteran free as well, which is really good since that gives increased rate of fire plus speed. There he goes, still about to go down. Main gun is out. Jackson will have to deal with this, but as you might notice here, he's now falling back. His flank's exposed, so he has to deal with this. But that means the King Tiger can advance for the front, since again, He's conceding the ground to cover up the flank, so basically flanking has made a huge difference for Xiaya, and compared to McClint, he's never really made any bigger flanks. Panzer IV there might go down, but the damage in the centre is nonetheless being done. He's rushing in everything now to try and stop the King Tiger without a tank destroyer, because the tank destroyer is now focused on trying to deal with the Panzer IV. We even got HVAC rounds here on his aced up Jackson. Panzer first off here. But of course, if he gets the Panzer IV here, that of course means he's got no tank destroyer then to really stop the King Tiger. There we go. And in one fell swoop, the situation has very much changed permanently, I think, in the favour of Xiaya. It was always a strong situation for Clint, not just, many minutes ago, but because his flank was open and Xiaya then exploited said flank, everything just, tumbled apart. Of course, it could help, mitigate this by the mining or bringing out more tank destroyers, but very importantly, Clint never really did any of those things. I mean, he still has a reasonably large force, he still has a victory point lead, but the problem is his opponent's got a King Tiger, and there you go. With this, Clint decides there is no chance. So, game over, GG. A close fight here. I think Clint really had a good chance of winning this one, but again, neglecting the flank, focusing too much in this narrow spot, which just fed the King Tiger lots of easy kills, and the lack of additional tank destroyers and the tank to help deal with it, I think rather gave Xiaya the best chance. So then we pushed up with the Panzer IV, threatening the flank and causing the collapse here. Clearly just seemed, kind of snap and just sent the Jackson after the Panzer IV, pretty much getting it destroyed in the process, and that rather, gave Xiaya there the victory. So, bit of advice, of course, is to always consider flanking, consider the bigger picture, don't just, focus on one point, do not obsess over any one point. Had Clint, I think, did a bit better, they probably could have won this, but instead, again, just failed. Also, get more than one Jackson to deal with the King Tiger, unless your opponent is terrible with the King Tiger, and you generally do not bet on that. So, there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it. Tell your friends, tell your family, but don't tell your enemies. This is Imperial LinkedIn. Cheers. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. See you all tomorrow again for a nice episode. Bye.